Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Now in this video I just want to discuss a few things linked to the stir that was caused when Black Panther star Letitia Wright shared a video discussing a different viewpoint in regards to taking the vaccine. Now of course the establishment didn't like this because the viewpoint goes against the norm, which people are well within their rights to question what they will and what allow in their bodies. And this is just further evidence and proof that not only free speech is dead, but now even freedom of thought is being banned. Because, in all honesty, when you looked at what she actually did, all she did was share a video which you can either agree or disagree. She didn't actually say anything else. She did a bit of an emoji clapping, so you can infer from that. But at the end of the day, that's all she did, share a video which you, as a human being, have the mind, individual mind, I assume, to agree or disagree. But that doesn't matter nowadays. If your viewpoint goes against the conventional wisdom of the powers that be, then that's it. Your whole career could be gone, especially nowadays. Now, I hope that's not the case when it comes to this particular star, and just in general, to be fair, because I don't really like the whole cancel culture. But I wouldn't rule it out from being the case. But with that being said, what I really wanted to focus on in this video is just share my views on the whole taking up the vaccine, because there are things which just interest me about human nature when it comes to situations like these. Now, to clarify, I just want to say this before anyone else interprets what I say as what it's not. I do not believe that anyone should be forced to take the medicine, and any ideas to have some sort of immunity passport that I've heard being considered by the government should be shut down. It should be everyone's choice to put what they want to do in their bodies. But with that being said, I do find a lot of people's stances on not taking the vaccine to be kind of, I won't say hypocritical, but it does have me thinking when you consider the following practices that people partake. Let's just be honest. I mean, let's start off with the most popular practice in this country, and that is the binge/drinking culture that is steeped into the very fabric of society. It's everywhere. Now here we have a drink that is liquid poison, which the primary function of this poison is to destroy the necessary cells in your body that's needed to function. So much so that when people actually consume too much, their bodies can't handle it, and we all know what happens. I know people say they have a good time, all this kind of other stuff, but the clear effects of alcohol is not to be disregarded. No one can really say anything else. It even has such consequences that it becomes fatal in the form of alcohol poisoning, liver cancer, and other social issues that we have, like alcohol addiction, which have a massive effect on so many people's lives. Now, as far as I'm aware, people aren't in the street protesting about the amount of alcohol being sold in shops, or these off-license places, all these places which sell all this alcohol, and yet people consume it. And I don't think there's a person alive who could argue the pros outweigh the cons when it comes to alcohol usage. Yet and still, it becomes an accepted part of society. No one comes out with no conspiracy theories on alcohol. We all know exactly what alcohol is, yet we accept it as this is the norm, and people take this on the daily, on the weekly, on the monthly, every single year in and year out. Now, what's the next thing? Smoking tobacco. Now, again, this is another drug that's primary function is to destroy damn near every organ of your body. But just like alcohol, people willingly put this into their bodies because at the time it feels good. We all know the long-term effects of this. There's no disputing the long-term effects. Even though people say it feels good, it sometimes curbs appetites. I know sometimes models use it, but there's no disputing exactly what cigarettes do to the body, tobacco in particular. That no one even questions the validity of that statement. Things like cancer, lung diseases, heart diseases. It gets so bad that the government actually tried to discourage people from smoking. But what do? They put the clear dangers of smoking outside the packet in massive bold letters so everyone can see. And if anyone's old enough to remember, they had some adverts, which still to this day, when I remember it, it puts me off, that people still willingly accept these risks, knowing the high chance of it killing them. Because that's exactly what these alcohol, these cigarettes, they actually are poison. Now, again, the differences are clear. One of them is willingly you partake, another one you could say is being forced on you. But let's be honest, that's what people willingly put in their bodies. Doesn't that tell you something about people's mindset? How it's really funny when you just compare the two. And that's not to mention other things like antibiotics, which again, something that people willingly take in the event of what? An illness, such as paracetamol, aspirin. And if anyone's actually read the potential side effects of these medicines, you'll see these things: headaches, nausea, rashes, abdominal pain, all these things which now we have become it's become so acceptable to have it on these packets that people don't even really, they just take it without even thinking about it. You have a headache, you have this, take a paracetamol, whatever it is, you take these things willingly, even though there's clear side effects to it, and we're so receptive to it, it's not even funny anymore. Even so that when you go to hospital, people's doctors still ask, are you allergic to any of these things? Because they know the dangers of it still being so prevalent when they treat you, that guess what? It actually can lead to death, because this is what happens sometimes where people don't even know that they're allergic to things like penicillin or certain aspirins or things that they put in the body. It can kill them. But people, again, willingly put these things in their bodies. Yet when it comes to this in regards to a vaccine, this is where all of a sudden it becomes like a whole different story. And again, don't let me get started on the actual foods that we consume. The processed food, the fatty foods, the red meats that we consume. Listen, that's a whole nother subject. But again, it just goes in line with what I'm talking about, how people willingly put these toxins, poison in their bodies. So I say all that to say this. The average person is so willing to put these toxins in their body, poisonous toxins, on the daily, that when something is designed, again, we can dispute exactly the purpose, but let's be honest, its sole purpose is designed to actually protect the body from illness, that somehow, all of a sudden now, we become somehow disconnected from the matrix and we become awake to the system and we say, well, this must be some sort of conspiracy theory, or this must be this and this must be that. I'm like, really? Really? Because let me say something on that, and let's just be honest with this. If any government anywhere, particularly in this country, was serious enough that they needed to put trackers into your body through the bloodstream, believe me when I tell you this, they wouldn't need to do any of this stuff. All they need to do is launch some new type of alcohol or get into cahoots with all the alcohol companies, change the formula, brand it as something as guaranteed to get people off their heads. I'm telling you, people in this country would willingly, they would line up across all the way around the streets. They would willingly take this again and again and again, and no one will even be the wiser. That's why when I hear this stuff, it's so interesting. And it's even funny listening to people on this stance when they talk about taking the vaccine, because not so much that people should be forced to take it, because again, I don't believe that should be the case. It should be optional. But when you take into consideration all the mess that humans put in their bodies willingly, I have to just ask the question, what is the difference when it comes to this situation? Really, really and truly, what is the difference? So that's all I wanted to share in regards to this video, my stance on all of this and taking the vaccine and all this kind of other stuff. Let me know your thoughts on this situation in the comment section. Until next time, I'm out.